great friend, and he's my political ally.
Wenyenchi, how are you doing? I hope you are doing fine. Now, on Saturday, there was a very sad news in Kenya. That is, MP Johana Ngeno died in a plane crash in Mosop, Nandi. Yeah. And so that same Saturday, Gachagua was in a rally and announced it, and immediately said that it should be investigated the cause of the accident. Yeah. Then later on Sunday, when he attended a church service, he emphasized and said that it must be investigated, and even saying that Kipchumba Murkomen should step aside to allow for the investigations. Let's listen to it.
The Honorable Johana Ngeno is my great friend, and he is my political ally and a confidant, and he has been very close to me for a very long time. In Kisumu, he called me before I was hounded out of office, and he told me what William Ruto is planning, and he was very disturbed. And he felt that by Ruto doing what he intended to do, he would destabilize his own government. And I was in Kisumu, he came to see me. And once Ruto learned that he was coming to see me in Kisumu, he sent the National Intelligence Service to bag my room so that he can record the conversation between me and Johana Ngeno. And we had a big discussion, and he told me what he was going through and the way he was being persecuted for fighting for the rights of the Kipsigis people. He told me that a plan had been hatched to remove me from office because I was also fighting for the interests of my community the way he was fighting for his community. And he told me he was opposed to it, and he felt the president would destabilize his own government, which has happened. And he said he would do whatever he needs to try to persuade him. And immediately the recording was taken to William Ruto. He was summoned, and he was thoroughly intimidated, and he was a well-worried man. So when it came to the impeachment process, he came to see me and showed me messages that William Ruto had sent him, threatening him that if he doesn't impeach me, he would face dire consequences. And he was crying. He came at 2 a.m. in the morning. And I listened to him, and I told him, the die is cast. Ruto has the numbers, he has bought everybody. Even if you don't sign that impeachment, it will change nothing. Instead of endangering you and your life and your family, just go ahead and sign. He signed with a lot of tears. The same happened to Muhammad Ali, the MP for Nyari. He was also thoroughly intimidated, and he shared me with the messages Ruto was sending them from the United States. Since then, I've been talking to Ngeno, and he has been under a lot of siege from Kipchumba Murkomen and Aaron Cheriot, trying to suppress his ambition to be the leader of the Kipsigis community. As late as last Sunday, we talked with Ngeno, and I told him I'll go through Bomet, and he did encourage me to go through Bomet. After I went to Bomet, I was well received. He called to thank me for articulating the challenges facing the people of Kipsigis community. We don't want to say anything, but we want to call for thorough investigations so that the truth can be known. The Kipsigis people have had many challenges. Anytime a leader has emerged to lead the community, he has faced challenges. Kipkalia Kones also died in a helicopter crash, and was a great leader of the Kipsigis community. Johana Ngeno has died in a crash. As we call for investigations, I must say that Kipchumba Murkomen cannot be CS Interior, and the family of Ngeno and the Kipsigis community and other Kenyans expect fair and transparent investigations, because Kipchumba Murkomen has been fighting Mheshimiwa Ngeno. We want to ask President William Ruto to ask Kipchumba Murkomen to step aside to allow for thorough investigations into the air crash. I have really lost a great friend, a confidant, a political soulmate, a man we shared many values and who had great ideas for this country.
Now, I want you to listen to this story. There was a man whose cow unfortunately died after eating wet grass during heavy rain. The vet came and said, most likely pneumonia from the cold weather. But before the vet even finished talking, neighbors had already formed 3 WhatsApp groups. One group said the cow was poisoned, another said it was bewitched, the third said the chief knew about it because he passed by the homestead that morning. By evening, the cow had become a national security issue. That, my friends, is politics. Now let's talk about the tragic helicopter crash that killed 6 people, including MP Johana Ngeno. First things first, a helicopter goes down, 6 lives lost, families grieving. Preliminary reports, according to PS Raymond Omolo, suggest bad weather and poor visibility. Reports indicate low visibility. The chopper attempted an emergency landing at the edge of a forest. It tried to take off again. It crashed and burst into flames. If that's accurate, it sounds like a tragic aviation accident caused by weather conditions. And honestly, aviation accidents due to poor visibility are not rare. But in Kenya, accidents rarely stay accidents. They quickly become political weapons. Rigathi Gachagua enters, guns blazing. Rigathi Gachagua did not wait. He came out strongly, demanding a thorough investigation, demanding that Murkomen steps aside, and even hinted at government involvement. That's not a small treatment. It's not a small statement. That's political dynamite. He went further. Claimed Ngeno was his ally and confidant. Said Ngeno visited him in Kisumu, alleged the house was bugged for the government to listen to what they were talking about with Ngeno. Claimed during his impeachment, Ngeno brought threat messages from Ruto when Ruto was abroad. Now pause. These are very serious allegations, but here's the political question. Is this evidence or is it positioning? Let's not rewrite the history. Johana Ngeno was until recently a strong supporter of President Ruto, and on very many occasions. Speaking of two-term, he wasn't known publicly as anti-Ruto. So now the narrative being floated is, was he secretly Gachagua's spy? Was he caught in Kipsige's leadership wrangles? Was he targeted politically? Or is this simply a tragic accident being pulled into the 2027 chessboard? Because right now, every event in Kenya is being filtered through 2027 lenses. The political reality is that Gachagua is currently in full opposition mode. Every opportunity to question Ruto, question Murkomen, raise suspicion, position himself as persecuted, he will use it. And politics has no breaks. Even funerals become campaign stages. That's not new, that's Kenya. But here's the cold truth. Without concrete evidence, accusations remain politics. Bad weather plus emergency landing plus crash during takeoff is plausible aviation explanation. Investigations must happen, yes, but jumping straight to assassination theories, that's high-stakes rhetoric. So, what will make Gachagua make these allegations? Why this? Is this politically convenient? Let's be honest, this narrative helps Gachagua in several ways. It paints him as a target of state surveillance. It paints Ruto's government as ruthless. It rallies sympathy in the Rift Valley. It deepens cracks within UDA. It also keeps him in headlines. And in politics, headlines are oxygen. Kenyan politics is like a football match where the referee makes a mistake. Instead of checking VAR, the players accuse the referee of fixing the entire league. Meanwhile, the match continues. We are already in campaign season, even if IEBC hasn't blown the whistle. The bigger question is, could there be political tensions in the Rift Valley? Yes. Are there leadership wrangles among Kipsigis leaders? And who is the kingpin? Yes. Does that automatically mean foul play? No. Sometimes a storm is just a storm. But in politics, storms are never just weather. They are metaphors. At this stage, we have a tragic accident. Preliminary reports point to bad weather. We have political accusations without hard proof. We have a 2027 battlefield heating up. It is very possible that this is simply Gachagua's doing politics with a tragic event to gain leverage against Ruto. And that is the uncomfortable truth. Because in Kenya, even grief gets drafted into campaigns. If you want such analysis that separates facts from political theater, subscribe to HiiStory, because here we don't just follow headlines, we decode them. Bye.